We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
It's time to buckle up for making sense of the madness.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here, and today we're going to talk about the RFK Jr. hearing, but really we're going to talk about the beginning of the hearing, because we could do a whole episode, and we may actually do a whole episode on the hearing, its content, the talk of fluoride and beyond. There's a lot I like about what RFK Jr. is saying and hopefully doing. You know, we have this whole broadcast on NBC just berating the new head of the FDA about daring to take fluoride off the market and maybe take it out of the water supply. Oh me, oh my. And there's a moment of that in this hearing as well. However, that is not what we're going to be focusing on. Instead, we're going to be talking about Code Pink and them coming in here and talking about Gaza and essentially this idea that they are not feeding and starving children in Gaza while cutting Medicaid here in the United States to pay for it. Now, that's my problem. You know, originally I was going to retweet out the confrontation of RFK Jr. and Code Pink and Ben Cohen of Ben and Jerry's fame, the delicious ice cream brand. Little overpriced, little overhyped. There is some good stuff in there. You know, his mantra about Medicaid, it rubbed me the wrong way, because that's really what we're going to focus on in this video. It's not going to be a long video. The whole thing with Gaza is a no-brainer to me. You know, I think that, number one, I can see why RFK Jr. is a target, because his stance on Gaza has not been good. All right? And that, I think, is one of his biggest problems. The talk now of Trump and Netanyahu having a falling out, I don't know whether or not that's real. You know, I hope that Trump is trying to move in the direction of peace. I realize, you know, we're a little over 100 days in here, but remember, he wanted to get these things done day one. Obviously, they're not. All right? So when Code Pink steps in there and does this, I kind of applaud it. For those that haven't been with me for 10, 15, 20 years, maybe those who have been with me for 5, you know that I'm politically homeless. Maybe you don't know that I've marched with Code Pink in the past via the 9/11 Truth Movement. You know, people like Cindy Sheehan, who I have great respect for, you know, has worked with Code Pink in the past. I don't think they get everything right. This issue, I think they're right on. However, associating it with Medicaid, that's where you lose me, and I think that you lose a lot of people. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit a couple stories. We're going to show the confrontation. RFK Jr., by the way, in the very beginning of it, visually shaken. And you can see why. assassination attempts on Trump. I'm sure he feels unease with what's happened to his father, his uncle. But he moves super quick when the first woman begins to speak. And the other thing that she says is that RFK Jr. kills people with hate. That, again, I'm not seeing that. You want to put a message out about the atrocities that are going on in the Middle East to de-escalate what is going on. I'm all about it. All about it. I'm not necessarily sure Trump did that, obviously, when he retweeted that AI video of making it beachfront property with a big golden idol Trump with a Musker nuts on vacation and him and Bibi on the beach. Like, super bad move. Super bad look. Right? I'm a First Amendment guy. I'm an anti-war guy. I'm a freedom of speech guy. Half of this, I think they get spot on. The other half is what we're going to talk about. So, thumbs the video up, subscribe, share. Realize I need your help now more than ever. $5, $10, $15. It means the world to me. I want to thank Susie Q, Hedvika, Jimmy, and Carooster for the support. Please follow me on X. We just keep losing followers here, despite my really good engagement rate. Can't get the impressions that you need to reach new people. Can't get 1 in 1,000 subscribers on YouTube to watch live, but we're doing what we can. So we're going to watch this video. And again, the kickoff is RFK kills people with hate. I've got to tell you, again, we're parting ways on that one. But let's watch the rest of the video and talk about why I think the Medicaid issue is a totally separate one. Let's do it.
Members of the audience are reminded disruptions will not be permitted while the committee conducts its business. Capitol Police are asked to remove the individuals from the hearing room.
Ben, why are you getting arrested?
Move down the hallway. If you stop, you will be arrested.
Poor kids in Gaza by buying bombs and pays for it by kicking kids off Medicaid in the U.S.
Ben, what are you calling for the Congress and senators to do for Gaza?
They need to let food into Gaza. They need to let food to starving kids. Congress is paying to bomb poor kids in Gaza and paying for it by kicking poor kids off Medicaid in the U.S.
Now, again, I don't think there's a correlation there. That's my big... I think the Medicaid program is a bad one overall. Hate to tell everybody that. And we're going to go over some numbers in a minute. One of the first things, however, I did was I looked up, this reference. Are they kicking kids off of Medicaid? Now, as a kid raised on Medicaid, I hated welfare medicine. I hated welfare. I still hate welfare medicine. A lot of grifters out there. I do understand the need for it in some cases, especially for children. But you moved into socialized medicine. You move into an arena where you're not treated the way people with money are. Okay? I mean, there are tiers to the grift because if Medicaid will pay for something for a certain class of people, doctors get on board. It's the same thing with the insurance companies. I'm hoping and praying, again, this administration is going to try to fix some of that these executive orders about drug prices are real, and that's going to move some of this away. But again, if they were kicking kids off of Medicaid, I wanted to be intellectually honest about that. So I looked it up, and I'm just going to read to you. Apparently, this is what these new bills by the Republicans are suggesting via Medicaid. Then we're going to go over the sheer numbers of Medicaid, by the way, okay? So here it is in the very thing. The panel voted along party lines 30-24 after a marathon meeting that lasted more than 26 hours with just 2 breaks in the House votes. All right? So, again, it's been passed so far. We'll see where it goes. But here's where the new provisions are. The GOP plan calls for states to impose work requirements on childless adults ages 19 to 64. Okay, I'm all about that. I am all about, you don't have kids and you're not working. You'd have to work to at least get out. Okay. Is that a problem? With certain exemptions. Oh, again. Okay, good. It puts a stop to a long-standing practice of states leaving taxes on health providers to pay for their Medicaid programs to boost their federal match. Good. It would penalize states that pay for Medicaid for those who entered the country without authorization. Again, non-citizens on Medicaid. I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to encourage people to get free health care as bad as it is here. When you see the numbers on Medicaid in a minute, I hope that it shocks people. All right? I hope it shocks people. So none of that talked about kids losing Medicaid. And the military-industrial complex is going to march on. And I'm just, again, going to tell you, I hate the program. I hate the program. Now, am I against kids getting medical care? No. Of course not. Of course not. But I got to tell you, again, there are so many people that end up grifting the system, getting Medicaid, that wouldn't really qualify, that have jobs on the side. It's a problem with all these social programs. And then the reality of it, all the money that gets put in, what kind of care are you really getting? Remember, this is a medical system that at this very hearing, they're talking about finally banning prescription fluoride tablets. Go watch what I had to say about that on the earlier broadcast. So now, what's the ballpark of how many Americans? We got 340 million American citizens here. Let me show you something. Almost 80 million. 80 million are enrolled in Medicaid and CHIP, which is Children's Health Insurance Program. Okay? 72.3 million in Medicaid and 7.2 million in CHIP. Right? That translates to roughly 40.6 million adults and 36.8 million children receiving health care through those programs. That is more than the number of people that live in the United Kingdom, that live in France, the entire populations of the United Kingdom, France, Italy, Spain, Ukraine, and Poland, and rivals Germany and Turkey. Okay, just to put you into a comparison of European nations. Is that a good idea? I don't think so. Call me kooky. And again, I don't think that they're related. I want peace, but do I want childless people not working, getting that free health care? They don't correlate. Folks, short and sweet on this one. You know the drill. Thumbs it up, subscribe, share. Check me out over on X. The ways to support the broadcast are down below. I don't think these are right and left issues. I understand they want to put them along party lines. I'm not buying it. Absolutely love you guys. We'll see you on the flip side.